We back live with it. We are back live with it.
Coming from the Iranian leadership. They are not. It doesn't look like that they are willing to come to the tables or to talk to the United States to end the war, and that is perhaps is making a situation even more worse in the region. Because, as I said, that earlier when there was a 12-day conflict between Iran and the U.S. Forces, or in 2024 when the fire was exchanged between Israel and Iran directly for the first time, there was a scope for diplomacy. There was hope.
So, if y'all are watching with me right now, let me know in the chat if you know what is going on. I'm not even gonna front like I know what's going on with this war, right? So, I'm gonna look right on Google right now, and I'm gonna type in. Let's just put in right. Let me see, U.S. Iran. Right. So, what's this war about? It says United States and Israel are engaged in an active, expanding military conflict with Iran. Following a massive coordinated strike launched on February 28th, 2026, the operation has targeted Iranian military, nuclear, and leadership sites, resulting in death of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali. Iran has responded with missile attacks across the region while the U.S. urges citizens to leave. Now, what I wanna understand is what the hell is going on? Like what's the real reason, right? So let's tap in. Let's see if we can actually find it right here. Let's see if we can find it. What's the real reason why Israel and USA are attacking Iran? Let's see if we can really find out what the real issue is. Okay, we got a couple of videos, right? Let's see if we can find a quick summary. Okay, here we go.
The built up to corner Iran was going on for last about 30 days. Ever since the US naval forces moved from Venezuela into the Persian Gulf. The 3rd January operation, in which the US forces captured the Venezuelan president, the USS Gerald Ford and their aircraft carriers and frigates and their destroyers, their submarines moved in and around the Persian Gulf. Last about 2 weeks, there is a heavy buildup around 18 airfields and their bases around Iran. The back-end negotiations were on, wherein the Iranians were asked to comply with the US and Israeli mandate, wherein they wanted them to agree to drop their nuclear enrichment. They demanded Iran for a peaceful transition of leadership, wherein they wanted the Ayatollah Khamenei to be replaced by a person which is more amenable to Israel and US. They also wanted a few concessions and dismantling of a few agencies, which in all likelihood the Iranians would have not agreed.
All right, so what's going on? If y'all know what's going on, drop it in the chat. Cause I'm gonna be honest, I still don't understand what's going on. But why don't we see if we can go a little bit deeper? Right. Is the reason for the Israel US Iranian war over oil, slaves, or dictatorship? Let's see. Let's see if we can find some real answers here. No one's really covering it. Let me see. See, no one really has the inside pocket information. Okay, let's see what this gentleman says. Right. Okay. All right. Market Mondays. Let's see what they talk about.
Or gonna put it in a bad investment. They're gonna put it in a bad vehicle.
They're
That's
they're
why.
gonna be uneducated, undisciplined, and do
Absolutely.
something that they shouldn't.
Mhm.
But that's a good. I mean, that's 25% net.
Yeah, but they're gonna put it in something that goes up 40% and it crashes 55%.
Most times.
Mhm.
You're right. That's why I say you can't skip a step. You can't skip a step.
You gotta go through. Yep.
You gotta go through
And
it
you
all.
only learn to be patient and diligent and only invest in high quality companies after you've been burned by bad ones.
So they're talking about how the market is going to be affected. Let's see what this gentleman Daniel Davis is talking about.
The U.S.-Iran war has entered day number 2. There were so many things that happened on the first day. So much casualties happened, a lot of chaos and confusion. And of course, the biggest thing that happened really in the day was not just that missiles were flying back and forth, but that the Ayatollah was killed in the first day, actually in some of the first strikes. And that, at the time, I told you I was really surprised that with all the advance notice, how in the world would they have been open in the above ground, not underground, when the strikes came? Well, we're now learning that apparently the Iranian side has said, listen, that is not, it was not an oversight, it was not a mistake. The Ayatollah, apparently, at least this is what's being reported, decided not to go into the bunkers. He decided to continue living his life like normal, which almost certainly means he for sure knew that he was going to die, because he wasn't even hidden. So he knew for sure his compound was obviously well known and was an almost certain first target. So it appears that he chose the path of knowing martyrdom. And then the question is, what kind of reaction was it going to have? Now, the hope in the West was that was going to be a decapitation strike, and that would cause the Iranians to fall apart or to now rise up against them. In the initial aftermath of the attack, there were plenty of at least images that were coming off. And by the way, I have to categorize all of this and say, listen, every image that comes out right now has to be taken with a grain of salt. And I mean every image, because there are so many deep fakes right now, and the deep fakes are just nearly impossible to tell. So what we try to do here at the Deep Dive is to validate through multiple independent sources, not just information, but like different camera angles, etc., on things that happen, so that we can give some kind of reason to believe that what we're telling you is something that's actually true. But it's just really, really hard. In the event of last night, we had a number of reports and images also that came out that seemed to indicate many of the Iranian people took the streets in celebration. After the sun went down, there was some images of some shooting off fireworks. A lot of people really happy, some shedding tears of joy, etc. But those weren't the only images. In fact, there was some other ones last night even that showed a lot of people protesting in solidarity. Well, now that the sun has come up, those have seemed to escalate. And so let me just show you a few of those.
So generally, when there's a war going on, it's never what it's made out to be, right? Especially when the United States is involved. Because United States is like this. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna show you this hand, and this hand's gonna be over here doing whatever they got going on, right? They're never gonna really be honest with the American people, at least not up front. And when the information comes out, all they're gonna say is, "Oh yeah, this is what happened," but it's gonna be 2-3 years later. Now, hopefully, with AI and just hopefully with how fast technology comes along, like we can actually, become more knowledgeable of what's the real reason that they're invading Iran and they're removing the power. Like, are they going for oil? Do they want more control in the Middle East? Do they want more presence in the Middle East? Do they want to install their own leadership so that they can basically, have that leader operate almost like a puppet, and then the U.S. is behind the scenes the entire time, just busting a move. Like, these are the questions that need to be really answered, and these are the moves that are really made at a high level. At the end of the day, one thing that I can promise, you guys can leave comments in the chat too. But one thing that I can promise is that this is a money move. 100%. This is 100% a money move. All the moves is for money. This is a power play. This is a money move. This is exactly what they have been planning on doing. And just think about the timing. Like, they've been talking about all the Epstein stuff. I think Hillary and Bill Clinton, they just gave a statement about their involvement in Epstein. And then simultaneously, all this is going on. It's like the big old bait and switch. So there's just so many things going on. But really, what is this war truly about, and how is it really affecting us? Like, this is the thing. Like, we have to think about, okay, is this affecting our daily life? Can we still move around, put ourselves in position? Are we still able to generate some cash flow? Is our employment being affected? Is the way that we're able to move and shake on a daily currently being affected? I'll tell you what though, definitely need to be more aware of what's truly going on, because it's going to affect you in some way. It's going to definitely affect you in one way, right? So what else we got going on in the world? So on the technology front, we got AI automation, more data privacy talks, and cybersecurity. So one of the conversation topics is generative AI. So let's throw that in here. Let's see what we got. Let's see what this is breaking down here.
Hey there, have you heard about generative AI? Let me break it down for you. Generative AI is a fascinating type of artificial intelligence that can actually create new content like text, images, and even music. So why do we call it generative? Well, it's because this AI doesn't just analyze existing data, but generates original stuff from scratch. That's pretty unique, right? What sets generative AI apart is its ability to mimic human creativity. It learns from tons of data and then produces content that feels like a human made it. This creative power makes it a game changer in fields like writing, art, and music. It's pretty cool to see how this technology is evolving and transforming our world. Hey there, have you heard about generative AI?
All right, let's get one more explanation, because I want to make sure I fully get it. So let's see what Dan Martell's talking about.
AI's gotten so good, especially on generative video, that we have to default to just believing it's not true. I remember back when Photoshop came out, you had the ability to manipulate images, and then people go, oh my God, everybody on the internet's not gonna know what's real. And it turns out they figured it out. You can go to Sora, for example, go search Jake Paul makeup, and you will see him putting on makeup. And unfortunately for him, everybody thinks it's true. There's these new sites that are coming up that are kind of like statistical models for what's real and what's not. I think we're just gonna come to that place where we can go there and search and say, Jake Paul makeup, is it true? And it's like, no, that's false. Okay, cool. Now, somebody go, hey, I just recorded this, and it's your best friend saying that you're a piece of shit. And you're just like, do you even wear that shirt? It's gotten that good. If I see a video of you talking shit about me, I'm default assuming it's not true. AI's gotten so good.
All right, so hold on. Let's get one more, right? Let's get one more. All right, so this dude's breaking it down even simpler. So let's see what he's talking about.
The difference between computer science, AI, machine learning, and generative AI. Computer science is the easy one. This is all behind the scenes of a computer. You learn all the software, the logic, everything from data structures, algorithms, to operating systems. AI is a branch of computer science, and its main focus is to make machines behave like humans. For example, Siri on your phone talks and acts like a human. Machine learning is a branch of AI. Instead of writing code to tell a computer that 1 + 1 is 2 or that the sky is blue, machines are able to take large amounts of data and learn learn that on their own. For example, Netflix recommendation system takes in your user profile and predicts which movies are best. Generative AI is a type of machine learning, but instead of making prediction, it creates content for you. ChatGPT writing your homework essays or creating pictures for you. Let me know which field you're going into this year and follow for more.
So basically, if I can fully understand this, generative AI is basically the AI is going to create models, right? The models could be photos, the models could be images, the models could be videos, and it's generating the content assets for you. So let's say you want to create a book cover, boom, it'll do that. Let's say that you want to create a video of you acting out, or maybe you want to create use an AI model, right? That's a generative AI. So I mean, I find it helpful. I think it's very helpful. I think it's extremely helpful. I can see what Dan Martell was talking about in terms of now that generative AI could be you or your best friend, and it could fake someone out like it's you talking about something, but it's not even you. Like I've definitely seen that before when it's like literally an AI model, like it's an AI model, and it looks like you, but it's not. But it talks like you, but it's not you. Like it has derivatives of your voice, your actions, and it's getting pretty good. And at the same time, it's also getting pretty spooky, right? Let's check out one more video on this topic. Let's kind of see. Let's see what this lady's talking about.
Hey, why don't you use AI more often? Well, isn't it destroying the environment? Uh-huh. And isn't it making us dumber? Uh-huh. And wasn't it made by stealing from countless writers and artists? Uh-huh. And isn't it sending some people into psychosis? Uh-huh. And isn't it taking people's jobs? Uh-huh. And isn't it already a tool of environmental racism? Uh-huh. And isn't it becoming so realistic that it's messing with our fabric of reality? Uh-huh. Then no, I think I'm good.
Well, you should probably just embrace the new technology.
Hey, why don't you use AI more?
that was actually pretty funny. But I'm with her on embracing new technology, 100%, because it ain't like they stopping it. So that's actually pretty cool. Let's see this pop-up video from Gary Vee. Let's see what he's talking about.
How many people here have used ChatGPT or an AI thing? I don't think people realize that Alexa and Google Home and Apple Home are about to use this for real. I don't think people realize it's gonna look like this. Hey Alexa, I have 6 of my son's friends coming over. 2 are lactose intolerant. 1 is vegan, 3 are a mess, and I'd like them to eat a little healthier. I only have a couple $100 in budget, and they'll be here for about 4 or 5 hours, but I also need something quick and snacky in the morning because they're gonna sleep over, and I wanna send them home with something. Send it. That's how people are gonna shop. So what I just said is real life in 5, 7, 9, 10 years. How many people here have used ChatGPT or an AI thing?
Well, Gary Vee he's always been on point, but I feel like you could do a piece of that right now with Alexa and with AI. So I would say I think he's pretty on point with that. What else we got going on in the world? Let me ask you guys this. If you're watching this live, leave a comment. Definitely share this video out. I think I just seen my guy Cisco on here. So what up, bro? How you feeling? Let me see. What else we got going on in the world today? All right, so we talked about the war a little bit. We talked about generative AI. Now, what is this Super Bowl puppy ball going on? Super Bowl puppy ball. Let's type that in. Let's type that in and see what they're talking about on that. Oh, it's literally a puppy ball. Are they serious? 150 puppies will compete for the 22nd annual puppy ball. What the hell? Yo, could somebody explain to me what the hell's going on? I mean, we have to do explain, bro. What the hell What's going on, bro? People will do anything with their dogs. This is kind of crazy. Yo, what's going on, bro? What's going on? Like, what the hell? What is going on? What? Yo, I feel like if you got if you got a dog, and your dog ain't planning on competing in the 2026 Puppy Bowl or the 2027 Puppy Bowl, you're feeling that dog as a owner. Clearly, this is the hottest thing cooking. I didn't know nothing about it. I mean, but that would make sense because I do not have a pet. But if I did have a pet, we're locking this in right here. We're definitely locking this in right here because this is clearly the hottest thing smoking in the streets. this right here is clearly the hottest thing smoking in the streets. I don't even know what's going on. Like, how do you sign your dog up for this? Right. Let's check this out.
Oh, you watched the Super Bowl yesterday? That's cute. I was too busy watching the Puppy Bowl. You thought yesterday was high scoring? How about Team Fluff beating Team Rough 87-83? Oh, you thought the Chiefs' comeback was good? How about a 31-point deficit to tie the game in the second half? Every single animal, every single one of them has been adopted. That's amazing. NFL, do better. Oh, you watched the Super Bowl?
Yo, that's crazy. And all of the dogs are they need homes? That's kind of brilliant. I ain't gonna lie. That definitely seems like that's kind of brilliant. That's definitely kind of brilliant. Yo, that's crazy, right? That's definitely kind of brilliant, yo. The 2026 Puppy Bowl. Listen, drop it in the chat if you got any questions. Podcast at Castor, podcast@castor.com, podcast@castor.com. Coming to Boston March 21st. Make sure you grab a ticket. Head over to podcast@castor.com. What else is popping in the streets today? Guess we got new music from Taylor Swift. Actually, no, excuse me. New music from the Gorillaz and from Bruno Mars, which I don't care nothing about. All right, so there's a new diet. Let's talk about this new diet. It's a carnivore diet. Clearly, that's not for me. But let's see what's the whole trend about this carnivore diet. Is it good for you? Is it bad for you? What are people talking about? Let's check it out.
I mean, I've tried a bunch of different diets, but for me, there's a lot of benefits to this carnivore diet.
So the carnivore diet's kind of a trip. Some people here and there will find the diet does two things for them. One is it radically improves all of their blood work markers of health and longevity. Two is that they really like it. And for those folks, carnivore, or at least a modification of carnivore, where you get some extra fiber and some vitamins, minerals, and maybe some mixed greens, can really be a pretty long-term, pretty sustainable diet that's super healthy and works well. The vast majority of people will start the carnivore diet and get so goddamn sick of eating only meat, they'll just fall off the wagon. It's an insanely restrictive diet. I don't have to tell you that. It's one of the most possible restrictive diets, because it only lets you eat one food group. Meat, that's it, motherfucker. What you eating for meal 2 today? Oh, it's meat again, isn't it? What about meal 3? Meat it is. Most people just can't sustain the diet. And for huge fractions of people, eating a relatively balanced diet of lean meats, which is dope, veggies, fruits, whole grains, and healthy fats is probably the best way to health, both in their blood work and in how they like it and can sustain it and enjoy it and makes them feel better.
I'm gonna have to go with homeboy here, right? You know, like I'm vegan, so I don't eat meat, I don't eat dairy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not eating fish. But I would agree for most people, a more well-rounded diet is probably the move. Um, because ultimately you're getting a mix of the different whole foods, right? Um, you know, the different food categories. Let's see what she's talking about on the carnivore diet. And I can imagine like it probably is tough. It just depends, right? Because you can be eating lean meats. You could definitely eat lean meats. So it's not like you have to have heavy like meat daily for every single meal. All right, let's tap into what she got going on.
One of the key takeaways from the carnivore diet is it's an
And sidebar, she look like she ain't really been on this diet that long. Cause she don't really look like she been packing on the pounds. In a positive way. Like she doesn't look like she looks like, you know, she looked like she probably lost some weight versus gaining weight. Maybe that's my ignorance because I don't really know how the carnivore diet works. But I don't know. Let's see. But let's see what she talking about.
animal-based diet, which is essentially an elimination diet. You focus on only animal-based meats and proteins. Red meat, for example, is the most nutrient-dense food available to humans and the most anti-inflammatory. By eliminating certain food groups, we are investigating without the use of medicine or pills what could be triggering our physical and joint pain, our digestive disorders, skin issues, hormonal imbalances, and even weight gain. It is the most simple and natural way for us as humans to eat. When we start deviating from this, that's when most issues seem to arise.
Yo, what do y'all think in the chat? Drop in the chat. Like, would you do an all meat diet? Is carnivore diet something for you? Or is it something that you would probably be interested in? Let's see. Okay, this looks like a good one. What type of meat to eat on a carnivore diet? And then we're gonna jump into the truth. This looks like okay. We'll jump into all three of these videos. These look like some good ones.
Any meat that you enjoy is fine. Any meat that tastes good, that makes you feel good, and that you can afford is fine. Some people have different sensitivities, especially like people with autoimmune issues. Sometimes they have to actually stay more towards like the grass-fed beef side of things. You know, even chicken and pork or egg whites can actually cause problem when they're still healing because they're still very sensitive to these things. But if you're not one of those people, you know, have eggs, have chicken, have whatever you want. Any meat that you enjoy is fine. Any meat that tastes good, that makes
Okay, I don't feel like it was too much crazy with that one. All right, let's see. This what we wanted? I don't know if this what we wanted. Let's go good or bad. Let's say good or bad. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I red meat for 60 days. This sounds good. Okay, let's see what's up.
I ate only red meat for 60 days, and this is what happened to my body. The night before starting the challenge, I did something I'm not proud of.
Don't judge.
This is me the next morning.
Today was very easy. I knew that this challenge wasn't going to be that bad.
Yeah, unfortunately, looking back, I severely underestimated what was to come.
Felt chest pain, but almost like a mild depression. Had a little bit of a panic attack before.
I just feel gross. I feel like a pig. I'm eating pig. I feel like a pig.
I'm so sick of this. Listen to this.
I kept cheating on the diet until Dr. Sean Baker gave me much needed encouragement.
If we just ate more damn meat and less damn junk food, that would make so many people so much more healthier.
From here on out, I started turning into an absolute animal.
Something weird is happening today. The aroma of smelling delicious to me.
And then I go on this rampage, I start killing it, I'm working out, everything's going well. Here are the results. Here's what I looked like at the start of the challenge, and here's what I look like now. Yeah, an absolute god. I look like a young Arnold. Testosterone is up, cholesterol didn't change, full video in my bio. I ate only red meat.
All right, so one thing I could say, right, is, and I'm gonna look this up after, right? They said that, think about back in the day, right, when um men were fighting each other, like territory conquering, and they were out there in the wild, out there for day and night. They had to kill their food and eat their food, and they were definitely eating a lot of meat. That did translate into high testosterone levels, more um, uh, aggressiveness, right? And then more, just more rage, because like when you consume flesh, right? When you consume meat, you're kind of taking on some of the energy from that animal, right?
What about eating more fat with cholesterol?
I
So
ate only red meat for 6
so let's look that up. Okay, so let's say what's a good um warriors eating just meat. How did it affect the body? I want to say something like, let's say like um Persians. Definitely spelled it wrong. Persians. What put warriors? Cause I'm thinking about like, Egyptian times. Okay. Um I won't eat meat for the past 8 years. Okay, these might be good. All right, let's see. Here we go.
What would you say would be the optimal thing to eat?
Eat like your ancestors. Eat like the Hadza. Eat meat and organs as a center of your diet from well-raised animals. Rome Ranch, White Oak Pastures, Polyface Farms. Don't fear the organ meats. Don't fear red meat. Know which plants are the most toxic and eliminate vegetable oils and processed sugars like the plague. I think if you do that, you're going to thrive. And I think you're going to feel really good.
What would you say?
What do y'all think? Let me know in the chat. I don't really see any negatives right now to this carnivore only diet, right? I'm not really hearing a lot of negatives. Let's see what she says.
I've been only eating beef since December 2017.
Wow.
Yeah.
Almost 8 years you've only eaten beef.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I started at thinking, I'll do this.
First of all, if she only ate beef for 8 years and I was seeing this girl or dating this girl or interested in this girl, I'd be a little concerned. Not even necessarily about her body per se, but just like her temperament. Like, does she want to, like, is she looking at me like I'm gonna be lunch? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just things like that. She's only eaten meat for 8 years. I would have a little bit of concerns.
I know I don't react to beef. I'll do this for 6 weeks and reintroduce some foods and see what's bugging me and causing the autoimmune responses. And I started with olives, and they were like preservative free, really high quality olives, just olives, had a huge immune response. And it was scary enough that after that, I was like, I'm just gonna wait. It took about 2 weeks for the arthritis symptoms to go away. It happened really quickly. It took about 6 weeks for me to stop crying in the morning because I was very depressed.
Wow.
I was off of antidepressants, but I was still not stable. And then 5 months later, my lingering anxiety went away. And since then, it's been me spending the last 8 years trying to figure out why my body reacts to everything but beef. But I've popularized the Lion Diet because there seems to be thousands, tens of thousands of people with autoimmunity or psychiatric disorders that will go into remission only eating meat, which is nuts. Some of those people manage to bring food back and identify exactly what's causing it, but a lot of those really chronically ill people are stuck only eating meat, happy because they're in remission. But I've been trying to figure out what's causing the probably extreme gut permeability leading to food sensitivities, leading to autoimmunity and psychiatric disorders. So it's been a wild ride. I've been only...
I mean, listen, I'm not hearing no negatives about just doing a all meat diet. If it works for you, let's check one more.
Recently published study came to the conclusion that red meat does not cause heart disease. Why are we not surprised? This study by the European Society for Clinical Nutrition and Metabolism was a Mendelian randomization, a type of research that is very highly regarded in the scientific community. And it found that across all 4 cardiovascular disease outcomes, there was no causal relationship with red meat. Either replacing grain-based carbohydrates with 8 ounces of red meat for 8 weeks, or giving diabetics high animal protein or high plant protein diets for 6 weeks, and neither of these previous trials found any increase in oxidative stress when participants were eating diets heavy in red meat and animal protein. And this is what we've been doing as humans for hundreds of thousands of years. So if you
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask right there.
truly want to thrive, make sure that you are including well-raised red meat and organs in your diet. Don't fear these foods, guys.
Yo. I don't know. It don't sound bad. I'm gonna be honest, all right? And then nothing else really shaking in the world other than this Winter Olympics. So let's just get a Winter Olympics recap.
The 2026 Winter Olympics are upon us. Here's 7 things to know. 1. This year's games are duly hosted between Milan and Cortina d'Ampezzo, a ski town near Italy's border with Austria. This is Italy's 3rd time hosting the Winter Games and Cortina's 2nd, but the opening ceremony and the events will be spread out across northern Italy. 2. There will be around 2,800 athletes representing more than 90 Olympic committees, competing across 116 events in 16 disciplines. 3. Team USA is sending 232 athletes, our largest contingent ever. Our youngest, 15-year-old free skier, Abby Winterberger. Our most seasoned, 54-year-old curler, Rich Runin. All eyes will be on the U.S. women's ski team. Lindsey Vonn returns to the Olympics after coming out of retirement, a partial knee replacement, and a crash in her last race before the Games. She'll be joined by fellow superstar Mikaela Shiffrin, 2 of the most decorated alpine skiers in history. U.S. skater Maxim Nomov will compete after his parents, also his coaches, were killed in the 2025 mid-air collision between a passenger plane and a military helicopter.
Let's see if we can get the highlights. Let me see. This is every gold medal the U.S. team won at Milan. I like to see the recaps though. You can find these recaps. All right, so I guess we gotta go for the main video. Let's see what happened here.
They call the beautiful town of Cortina the Queen of the Dolomites as we get set to crown the latest Olympic champion in the women's downhill. We start with the first of the top-ranked skiers in the world, and that would be Breezy Johnson from Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And Breezy has been calling this trip to these games her Cortina Redemption Tour. She was injured just before the last Olympics, which ended that Olympic journey. Trying to get on the Olympic podium. Breezy Johnson takes over the lead in emphatic fashion. Now officially settling in for Breezy Johnson, an Olympic champion.
Maddie the Matador, Evan the Bull.
There you go, 133.23, and that is a season's best.
This throw, the most important of her life. Throw triple loop.
I haven't seen them skate this well in a long time.
Amber Glenn, the 26-year-old from Plano, Texas. It is the final act of the team competition. It could not be any closer. A tie at the top, so much on the shoulders of that man, the quad guy, the 21-year-old from Vienna, Virginia, Ilya Malinin.
No one in the world can do that.
So it is the U.S. winning the gold medal in the team competition back-to-back at the Olympics for Team USA.
Here's Elizabeth Lemley from Vail, Colorado in her Olympic debut. Look at the eyes, look at the focus.
Here return shine, some of the best in the world.
Lemley sending it on the bottom with a big grab coming through the time of 25.81. If you don't.
Yo, did you watch any of this? If you watched any of this, let me know in the chat. I watched none of this at all. I'm like seeing this for the very first time. But it's dope that Team USA won hella gold medals at the Winter Games.
I have goosebumps right now. You better check your pulse. Elizabeth Lemley, at 20 years old, in her Olympic debut in women's moguls, just landed top honors on the top of the Olympic podium.
It's pretty lit.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so glad she came into our lives.
There is a palpable buzz at the Milano Speed Skating Arena for the men's 1,000 meters. 21-year-old Jordan Stolz, a 6-time world champion, makes his Milan debut looking for his first Olympic medal. Jordan Stolz begins his pursuit of the podium here in Milan. And here goes Stolz, flowing right past Yannick Debeau. The best speed skater in the world flies to an Olympic record and the lead. And Jordan Stolz, golden in Milan. These are two of the best 3,500-meter skaters in the world. Debeau making his move to the inside. Stolz looking to hold him off on the outside. They are so close here coming to the line. Jordan Stolz outsteps Yannick Debeau. 33.79, another Olympic record and the lead. And it's official. Jordan Stolz is the fastest speed skater in the world. 2 events, 2 golds in Milan. It's
Yo, that dude went crazy. Clearly.
medals night here in Cortina on a crisp evening. And Alana Myers-Taylor, gold has eluded her. Maybe tonight it can be hers. This is Alana Myers-Taylor and her quest for that elusive gold. This is a promising run for Alana Myers-Taylor. Alana to the line, 1,200s ahead. Alana Myers-Taylor has never won a gold medal in the Olympics. She has now. It's gold for the United States. The most prolific female bobsledder in history. This was part of the script.
Yo, does anyone know the name of that sport? Did he say Bob Sledder? How do you even train for that joint? Where do you go to train for that joint? Where do you go to train for that? That's crazy, but shout out to America for another gold.
This was meant to happen.
And that leaves the stage. Mikaela Shiffrin, now less than a minute away from redefining her Olympic legacy. It's all right out in front of her. Everything that happened 4 years ago. Shiffrin, just get to the line. And golden again at the Olympics. You have just seen the ultimate Olympic journey come full circle.
The winner will take the gold. The United States and Canada. As Canada gets fresh skaters on the ice. The outlet pass for Keller, a defenseman. Nice move, comes to the net, score! Megan Keller, the overtime hero. The United States wins gold in Milan. Megan Keller wins it for Team USA.
Yo, is that female hockey? That's kind of lit.
With a renewed spirit and passion for the sport, the comeback could now have a Hollywood ending. The 20-year-old from Oakland, Alyssa Lear. Alyssa Lear is the gold medalist at the Olympics. The comeback is complete.
Tonight, under the lights of the Livigno, the world's best free ski half-pipe athletes will cut through the frozen air of the Italian Alps in a quest for precious medals. This is the moment. All those training hours come down to this for Alex Ferreira. He has silver, he has bronze. What he wants is the gold. This has gold medal potential. One final 16:20. Alex Ferreira on the third and final run.
about to begin. The aerial athletes head up for team competition. Team USA on lock right now. That looks solid. Connor Curran delivers for Team USA. Lillis stomps it, seals it.
They were the underdogs again, and they pull it off again.
Gold medal game in Milan, tied at 1 as we get set for overtime. And it's Wierenski. Now Jack Hughes puts it around the car. United States with numbers. Back across it comes. Jack Hughes wins it. The golden goal for the United States. For the first time since the 1980 miracle, the United States takes the gold. Jack Hughes beating Jordan Bennington. The United States wins the gold medal here in Milan.
Yo, clearly the United States went absolutely bonkers. You know what I'm saying, in Milan for the gold, man. So that was literally just today's recap. Everything that went on with the world. Obviously, we start off with some politics. What's going on with the world? I mean, with the war. AI technology, generative AI is what's popping right now at the moment. That puppy ball, which I still don't understand, but I guess it's cute. And then carnivore diet. Maybe I need to start eating meat. I don't know. But I didn't see nothing bad about it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that just might have been the videos that was shown to us, but we gotta do a little bit more research, figure out what's bad about that carnivore diet. And then ultimately, those Winter Olympics. So just want to tap in with you guys. Podcast@casttour.com. Podcast@casttour.com. Make sure that you grab a ticket. We're gonna be in Boston on the 21st. Definitely want to encourage you to pull up, grab a ticket, and go crazy. Podcast@casttour.com. This is Brendan Boyd. Appreciate you for jumping on the live. We will be back tomorrow, and I'll see you guys on another one. Peace.